All right, guys. This was a red week. I did not say on the trade recap because I just recorded my trade recap. So starting Monday, I had that win, and then Tuesday I didn't take anything. Wednesday I ended up losing, and I was like basically break even on the count. So I was basically break even last month. So it was gonna charge me $50 the next day, and then my drawdown obviously was at 48,500 until I lost the account. So there's no point of just keeping the account. So cancel the account. This is the new account. So Thursday and Friday I lost on the new account. So right now I'm down on the new one, but we'll get into the trade recap. And yeah, let's get into the trade recap, guys. As y'all saw from the last clip, y'all know what I did. I had one win, one break even on Tuesday, and then or no, not break even. I took no trade on Tuesday, and then I just went on a losing streak. So right now I'm on a losing streak. The last 3 days I've been losing. I've been making the same mistake. I have not been going break even on these smaller trades, and a lot of the times I get break even, and then there ends up being like another trade that I know would have been nice. I know I would have taken, but that's just in hindsight. So not to be a little hindsight warrior, but Monday was a really good trade. It was a banger. I was feeling really good. I was feeling so confident on the week. But the thing about that is you can't be too overconfident. You need to just stick to your plan and just not let, just one win like cloud how like the rest of the week's gonna go. I think these are the trades from last week. I need to clear out my chart as soon as I'm done with the trade recap. But anyways, Monday was a banger. So going into the day, I was clearly bullish because at the time we're at all-time highs. Bullish until proven wrong. So at this time, I was just looking for honestly just a continuation back to the upside, tap into an hour 15 something, inversion out, and then TP at all-time highs. But at the right here on Monday, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were losing on Monday on NQ. I didn't like price action, so 80-90% of the time I'm trying to take trades on NQ. But honestly, ES really presented itself really nicely. We took out London low. We were in a 1 hour fair value gap, I believe. Also it was a 15, and then we went to the opening week gap. So this is obviously a strong area of liquidity. So SMT liquidity sweep, and then just in a bunch of air. Boy, Elijah calling me right now. You can wait. We had a inversion. Yeah, right here there was nothing really presenting itself. It just didn't look nice, and I just noticed, well, this is so like clear, textbook. So I had to scale down, see what kind of inversions we had. So that's what I did. We did have a 2-minute inversion right here that I wanted to get inversed, but it was kind of being sloppy. So I was gonna just wait for it to get inverted, and then we had this one too. So I was like kind of iffy on it. So if we kind of inverted all the way up here and we're still on this one, so I probably would have waited a little bit, or I was gonna wait. But luckily, as soon as the play, the 2-minute inversed, it inversed both of these levels. So I was just like, man, it's solid. I wanted a little bit better feel, or I wanted more confirmation. So I ended up waiting for the 3-minute tap. So if you go to the 3-minute, we tapped into this area right here, this level, entered, and then I wanted to break even right here at this 15-minute fair value gap. So at the time, I was in the trade for a while. I think the hour ended up closing. We created a 1 hour fair value gap. So regardless, I was still safe. So broke even right here. Broke even. Obviously I broke even right here, but I broke even whenever I hit this level. So I was in this for a while, and then I finally hit TP. That was nice. And then Tuesday, this day I didn't take any trades. Some people took shorts, but honestly, I just, I was very stuck on just bullish bias. But luckily, obviously nothing really presented itself to take, buys. Maybe you could have taken something around this area, but this is mostly just chop for me. I don't like trading that type of price action. So, that was that. So I was up on the week to start, and then and then going into Wednesday, I was very fixated on, shorts. just because on the higher time frame, let me show y'all. Wednesday. Let's see. Okay, on the higher time frame, on the 4 hour, as y'all can see, we inverted this right here on Tuesday's price action, this right here on Tuesday's price action. So I was pretty, you know, hold on. Let me see how Wednesday looked. Yeah, at the time we're around this level, ignore this candle right here. We inverted this fair value gap, this fair value gap on the 4 hour. So I was expecting it, NQ and ES to start dumping, and ES was already in the equilibrium of the range, so we're at a good price to, you know, start dumping from. So let's go back. I ended up taking shorts damn near market open, and honestly I should have just waited for market to just open and see what we do, because usually market open is very unpredictable. I like to take those trades if it's A plus, like around like 8:10, 8:15, because a lot of times during that time I usually, like, once we get to a certain level I break even, and then if market open shoots us up or down I get break even, or I hit TP pretty fast. But you know, it was more risky considering just because I was taking the trade, you know, damn near market open. I believe I took, let me check real quick because I took a picture of it. Took the first trade. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Sorry, I took the first trade on NQ. So this was where I messed up. I should have broke even. I was being stupid, and I know I was being stupid. So obviously we created a new leg to the upside and created a new 1 minute inversion. But as soon as we tap back into these fair value gaps, which we had obviously higher time frame fair value gaps, which is a 5 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, and like all this area, I should have just broke even, because either I just boom, like we tap into this level and I get stopped out, break even instantly, and we ended up just rallying up, or you know, we just shoot down and I'm already break even and I'm safe in the trade. So that was just dumb. At this point I was feeling a little like annoyed, because like, man, I just burned through like damn near most of my capital. So I took another smaller trade. This we barely took out on ES. So I was like, you know what, I think this is looking good. We tap into this 1 minute, and then we started like just rejecting. So I'm like, okay, we're on the higher time frame, we have the 4 hour, we have a liquidity sweep. But honestly I should just at this point just sat on my hands and just waited. And I believe we had this one was a little bit better. We had a 5 minute inversion along this, you know, price range. Let me show y'all real quick so y'all can see. Yeah, 5 minute inversion, but I should have just broke even as soon as we hit the swing low. That was stupid of me. Very, very stupid. I know better. I've done this mistake so much this week. I've been just so fixated on just making money, which that's not what trading is. It's, you should be fixated on following your rules, and I wasn't following my rules. Like, everything was, a lot of these trades were good, but it was just a matter of me just breaking even at these certain levels. You know, anytime you go into a trade or go into a day, you need to have set rules on, like, if obviously the trade can be good, but you need to have a rule where, like, all right, this level I'm going to break even, or this, you know, it's, this trade is going to be invalidated as soon as this happens and that happens and, you know, whatnot. But yeah, but let's see. What happened this day? I think it was the same thing. Yeah. So what happened was, let me go on the 1 minute. This day, I believe we've tapped into a 4 minute, or no, we're on a 4 hour, and we also, there's a 15 all the way to the left. So at this point, I really wanted to take a rebalance play, or take a play all the way back to these highs, just because, you know, we tapped into a 4 hour. I'm very bullish, but honestly, I should have just, you know, I wanted to see this get inverted. I believe the highest time frame was a 3 or 4 minute, if I'm not mistaken. But by then, the price was pretty high, and I wanted to wait for a retracement back to this 1 minute and then long. So that was my thought process. Like, I'm going to take this. So I took it right here after this rejection. And honestly, I should have known. I should have not taken this trade. If you see right here all the way to the left, We actually have an unfilled 5-minute right here. So a lot of people did take this trade. I know someone that I watched normally, he took a 15-second inversion off of this area, which I usually don't take the 15-second, but I haven't done it in a while. But there's no 30-second, that's why I didn't take it around this level. And he broke even, I believe, right here at this swing high. You could have broke even at this swing high and then just TP at the 5-minute. Just a quick in and out trade, and yeah. And then at this point, I was looking for a 5-minute. You know, since I noticed that we tapped the 5-minute, we had a 2-minute inversion down to this level, 2-minute, and then I know I should have broke even at this. And then you're probably wondering, like, how'd you get stopped out? Well, I didn't. I got out of the trade. I got emotional. I was like, man, well, we are on a 4-hour and a 15, this and that. I was like, just second guessing myself. And honestly, if I never got out of the trade, I probably would have gone break even. But let's say I never even won break even, that would have hit TP. But regardless, I should have just broke even at the trade. Win or lose, or win or break even. Because that would have been break even. But yeah, I was definitely just overall bullish on the day. But I had a little bit of a bearish bias just so we can rebalance back down to these levels. Because if you look at the 4-hour. Let me show y'all real quick on Thursday's practice section. My thought process was, okay, we have this 4-hour imbalance that we're on, and then we close below it. So we're very likely to honestly just keep digging into this range, keep digging. But actually, let me look. This looked even better. We have obviously this 1-hour candle right here that closed below this 1-hour candle. So honestly, I expect this to still dip into equilibrium of the range. And my thought process was we're either going to tap onto this 1-hour or this 1-hour. Just because we closed below on this 1-hour, we could see potential in just shorts into these levels. Just because a lot of the times, let's say hypothetically, we have this 1-hour imbalance right here. You're thinking, all right, we plan to tap into this range and then, take an inversion now, break even at the near swing, lower high, regardless. A lot of times we have a 1-hour right here, and then if you scale down, we have a 15-minute. So we have an even more precise entry. So a lot of times that happens in those types of trades. Where the hell is the marker? I've never used a marker now that I realize. Getting a call. Why is it that I'm getting calls right now out of all times? Okay, so a lot of times we're obviously reaching to this level. A lot of times then we're just over here rejecting, but a lot of times we reach back into the hourly that's also inside. We go into the 15 that's also inside of that hourly, and then we finally get that move. You know what I mean? And that's what that was on the higher time frame. We did inverse the 1-hour on this level, but obviously there's still 4 hours to be tested. So we're obviously still digging into this on the higher time frame, digging, tapping into this 1-hour or potentially this hour. This 1-hour, last 1 hour ended up being the level. Also, we have higher time frame, 4 hour, 1 hour. But that was my thought process. I'm saying a lot. I'm just thinking, But yeah, I lost that day. Could have been a break even. Like I said, a lot of these days could have been break evens, and then you can take a win later during the day. I believe Wednesday, there's a trade that I saw. Yeah, I forgot to go over this. Oh my gosh. Did not mean to do that. Okay. This day, we did tap into a 15-minute. Initially, we tapped into a 5, I believe, and then we had an inversion out of this. Could have broke even right here. Could have gotten stopped out. Then we had a 15 that we ended up tapping into, and then we had an inversion out of this, and that could have been a target from all-time highs. The reason why this trade would have been really good is we were on a 4-hour imbalance, and by the time 9 o'clock rolled around, we already closed over it. So obviously, we're looking for that retracement back to all-time highs. So this would have been the trade. If I just waited or I just broke even on this trade, I could have just been patient until the perfect trade presented itself. And that's what it is. You need to preserve capital and just wait on those good trades. And sometimes if you're taking like even like this is I wouldn't consider A plus. This is like a B, just because like you know it wasn't the highest time frame leg. We had a higher time frame leg, but still kind of they're good in a way, just because you can take the inversion and just break. Gotta break even fast, but those trades are a little bit more risky because you could just be in it, get stopped out, and then keep going lower. But you know that's the risk with those types of trades. You just gotta like be in, break even pretty fast. This would have been a nice trade. Forgot to go over that one. Sorry about that. And yeah, that was that. Made some mistakes. I just need to get better on that whole, break even thing. But yeah. Same thing with this one. Not really same thing. This was a lot better. I wanted to break even at this swing high, but look at this. I'm pretty sure anyone that trades, if y'all are seeing this, y'all were like, oh my gosh, what the hell? I believe it's something to do with Trump. I'm not too sure. Ceasefire on a war. Dude, I need to ask my brother. I honestly just completely forgot what he just said. Ceasefire on a war. Something about good news. I don't know. But regardless, I didn't see it on Forex Factory, so that's why I was taking a trade around this time. Also, it wasn't on Forex Factory, so that's that. So this day, obviously, we're at all-time highs. It's Friday. Today's Friday. Prices, market's still open. But this day, I'm looking for longs. At this point, we had a 5-minute right here, but I honestly wanted price to retrace back into this 5, and we also had a 15. At this point, we had a 4-minute leg right here. We inversed the leg. Didn't have the cleanest inversion, so I was just like, all right, I'm just going to wait. We had an inversion at this leg. And honestly, I shouldn't have even taken this trade, just because with this swing high already got taken out. It would have been nice if the 4-minute inversion was right here, break even right here. But at this point, we're chopping so long, it was just getting annoying. And I should have just broke even at the next swing high, just because I know I've been in this trade for a while. That would have been a break even, and then I would have just been safe in this trade. Just very unfortunate. But the market dumped like freaking 300 points, probably more by now. From that point, we've already dumped 7. Dude, what? Oh my gosh, that's insane. I didn't even know we dumped that much. It's gonna be annoying trading in this range if we do end up going into that range on Monday. So Monday, I'm gonna be very safe. I'm gonna wait for A plus setup if we even do take anything. Oh wait, I think Monday the market's closed, so it's only gonna be 4 trading days next week, so we'll see. But yeah, regardless, 1 win, 3 losses, 1 no trade day. But could have been a lot better. Very disappointed in the way I was trading towards the end of the week, But that's what happens. You need to learn from it and just not let your ego get in the way of you taking good setups and you following your rules. And yeah, that's that. And I'll see y'all next week.